Hi, everybody. All right. Lower that. Okay, here we go.
Talk show. Recorded live.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of GC Community Chat. I'm your host, Kerry, and joining me tonight is Wayne County Commissioner Richard LeBlanc, Dr. Tom Iwinski, and Mike Jones. This show is dedicated to the residents and businesses of Garden City, as well as the surrounding communities. Remember, we're working hard to promote our community and yours. All right, thanks for joining us again tonight. It's Thursday, March 26, 2015, and you are listening to show number 238. As I mentioned in the intro, joining me tonight are my co-hosts, Wayne County Commissioner Richard LeBlanc. He's going to be a little bit late. He's not here yet. Our favorite weatherman, Dr. Tom Iwinski. Tom, you there?
Yes, I'm here. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
And former Garden City Councilman and longtime resident, Mr. Mike Jones. Mike, how are you?
I'm here and ready to go, Gary.
You guys have to bear with me. I'm getting over a little cough here, so if I cough, I apologize for that. All right, we'll also have Joey and Holly here in just a few minutes with their 2-minute gardening tips. I think tonight they are talking about utilizing the space available, so that should be interesting. Okay, let's talk about who's on the show tonight. First up will be Sarah Traxler from McKenna Associates. She is one very busy lady and a very important part of our community. We'll be discussing the master plan with her, what it is and why do we need one, and also the Community Development Block Grant, what is the CDBG, and how is it good for our residents. And if it's the last Thursday of the month, that means our good friend Senator David Knezek will be here and updating us on the latest from Lansing. We also have several event announcements as well, so we have a lot going on tonight, and we hope you'll stick around. All right, to join in the discussion tonight, it's very easy. First, you can call us at 1-724-444-7444. Enter the call ID 82757, followed by the pound sign. Or you can join us via our chat room by going to TalkShoe.com, search at the top of the page for call ID 82757. That will take you right to our main show page. You'll click on the large Join In button, sign in as a guest, and that's all there is to it. Once you're in the chat room, you can type your questions or comments at the bottom of the page, and you'll find our phone number and call ID there as well. And don't forget, we are doing a live, unedited video of tonight's show, so you can put a face with the voice, and that will be made available sometime tomorrow on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/communitychatshow. We have several other shows over there for your viewing as well, and please, if you enjoy them, click on the red subscribe button. That way you'll always be notified when a new video is posted. All right, the audio for tonight's show will be available on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GCChat, usually about 30 minutes after we sign off tonight. So why not grab your favorite beverage, sit back, and join us for the next hour or so. Should be a good one. Okay, before we go any further, let's get the weather with Dr. Tom. And then we'll get Joey and Holly in here. And then after that, we will get to our first guest, Sarah Traxler.
Okay, let's do a check on weather with Doppler Tom. Let's see what he has in store for the rest of this week and the weekend coming up. Tom, take it away.
Burr, Tom.
Yeah, it was a little burr today.
Yeah.
But, luckily, we didn't see any snow. That stayed just south. Some parts of Lenawee and Monroe County saw some white snow, but Richard probably called me and yelled me out, so I had to keep that snow a little bit to the south, so we didn't get any snow. But we're good.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was a pretty much chilly day after some morning rain after the last 2 days. We did get into the lower 40s, and we're around that right now, but we're going to drop off as we head throughout the overnight hours. We're probably going to go below freezing again tonight. We'll probably be in the low 20s, so another chilly night out there. And tomorrow, we're not going to climb much at all. It's going to be the coldest day of the weekend and of all of next week, so keep that in mind. But tomorrow, we'll probably flirt around the freezing mark, so we probably won't get higher than 33 degrees or so. So, and we could even see some on and off snow flurries. So that's going to be the worst day of the week. It's not going to be fun. It's going to be cloudy. It's going to be cold, and it's going to be an indoor day. But luckily, as we get into the weekend, the sun's going to come out on Saturday, but it isn't going to warm up too much. We'll be in the 30s that day as well. But some changes are coming, and I do see that as we get into Sunday and into all of next week. Sunday, again, we'll see those clouds increase with some more rain, not snow. It'll be much warmer. We'll get into the lower 40s. And then as we get into next week, I don't see any big storm systems to deal with all of next week, but I do see some warmer temperatures, so that's going to be nice. Average, a little bit above average as well. Temperatures will probably be in the 50s all of next week for high temperatures, so that's going to be a welcome change and a prolonged change because it's probably going to continue for a little bit. So it's going to be nice to enjoy some milder air after the last chilly, rainy days that we have been dealing with. And overall, that's going to be the weather over the next week or so. No big storms or rainstorms or severe weather to deal with, but that changes the gears and gets into my other story because severe weather has been a big story across the plains as of last night. They dealt with pretty strong storms all across Oklahoma, parts of Kansas, Missouri, and Arkansas last night. And they even got some tornadoes as well that were embedded in these stronger storms and large hail as well. And unfortunately, one of these big tornadoes hit a mobile home park, and one of the residents did get fatality. There was a fatality. So that's why you never want to stay in a mobile home when severe weather strikes because those winds can just rip that mobile home apart. So I know it's a tough situation, but there's those tornadoes in that area, and they get them all the time there. And it's no surprise that they got the tornadoes, but you always need to be prepared for severe weather. I know we haven't got any this season, but we're starting to get into that mindset as we get more into spring and summer. That severe weather can happen all the way here in Michigan as well. We'll get into those preparation tips later in the next few months, but we don't have to deal with that, so that's some great news. Other than that, that's the biggest weather story. The West, especially the Southwest, is staying very warm. Temperatures were in the 90s all across the Southwest, and they definitely don't need that. They want some rain because, again, as I say over and over again, like a broken record, they have been in such a drought across the West, but they're going to continue to stay warm and dry, and across the East, and especially the Southeast, as that storm system weakens from the plains into the eastern United States. It's more of a heavy rain threat and a little bit of snow in the interior Northeast. But overall, that storm system is calming down, and we're not going to be dealing with any more severe weather across the United States. So that's overall the pretty much pattern out there. The West is going to stay hot. The East is going to stay a little bit on the cooler side, but we are going to see that warm up as we head throughout next week, and that's going to be a much needed and a much welcome change as we get into next week as well. So if you want to keep tuned to all my local weather information, just go to my website, DopplerTomsWeather.com.
All right, we'll do. Mike?
Putting you on notice, Tom. 11 days till opening day.
I hear you loud and clear. We'll see what happens, but I do see some mild air, so hopefully it stick around for opening day. So that looks
Absolutely.
promising.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that would be nice. Better than snow flurries.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's get Holly and Joy in here in their 2-minute gardening segment, and then we'll get to Sarah.
This is Gardening in 2 Minutes. We all don't have the availability of having a lot of land to grow what we eat. We have to utilize the space that we have available, whether that's a 4x4 square foot area, or maybe we do have a couple of 100 square feet. But utilizing that area correctly can greatly enhance the amount of produce you can get off of it.
When you think about the space you have, you want to make sure that when you are growing, you are spacing the plants properly. This will allow them to produce at their most. You also want to think about maybe adding some things like a couple containers or even possibly a pop-up raised bed.
The term intercropping can be used. This is where you plant let's say corn, and in the middle of those corn rows, you plant radishes, a very quick-growing vegetable incorporated in with a very slow-growing vegetable to utilize the space upon which you can get 2 crops out of that same bed or area.
Another common method of intercropping is the Three Sisters method, where you plant corn, then you plant beans right by that corn, so the beans grow up the corn, and then you plant a row cover crop such as squash.
You can also use square foot gardening. This utilizes each square foot that is available to grow a certain number of vegetables. For example, 16 radishes in 1 square foot, 9 beets in 1 square foot, to 1 tomato plant in 1 square foot. For more information on how to utilize the space that you have available on your property, our weekly video productions, as well as our free downloadable digital quarterly magazine, you can find all that information at
theWisconsinVegetableGardener.com.
For the health-conscious organic gardener worldwide. For Gardening in 2 Minutes, I'm Joy Baird.
And I'm Holly Baird.
All right, thanks, you guys. I appreciate it. Okay, let's move on here quickly to our first guest for tonight. Like I said, she's one busy lady, and it's a pleasure to have her joining us for the very first time. From McKenna Associates, Sarah Traxler. Welcome to the show, Sarah.
Hi, Carrie. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure. So first, Sarah, let's share a little bit about your background with our listeners. How long have you been with McKenna, and what is your position with them?
So I have been with McKenna Associates, which is a community planning and design firm, for coming up on 10 years, actually.
No
May
way.
is my
Really?
10-year anniversary.
Way.
Yes.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so
Started when she was 12.
Oh, yes, thank you very much. I like to hear that.
You are a
We have a lot of clients in Western Wayne County and actually around the state where we help them with planning, zoning, community development, economic development, landscape architecture. So our clients are local governments, and we like serving them.
Absolutely. Did I see Vice President now next to your name?
Yes, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
I think it was last summer. So,
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So Garden City isn't your only community then. You have how many communities?
I would say at any given time between about 7 and 10. But Garden City is one of my biggest client communities, and one of the longest that I've been involved with, actually.
Yeah, you spend quite a bit of time here.
I do.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. A lot of people like Garden City.
Yeah.
I always
I
like
love,
Garden City.
Just from my perspective, working in a lot of different places, one of the things I like so much about it is that even though it's surrounded by so many urbanized areas, it really has such a hometown feeling, and you can really tell that people are invested. I mean, I tell people when I'm talking about Garden City, I remember that the Relay for Life has outraised, much larger communities, however many times in a row. So
yeah, it is quite amazing.
People
Pretty
pitch
tight
in.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to the master plan.
Sure.
What is a community master plan?
So a master plan actually deals with how a community uses its land, and it's governed by state law. State law requires that you talk about your community's land use, both existing and what you want to see in the future, your infrastructure, transportation networks, and community facilities, and some other things. So really talks about how your community will develop over the next 20 to 30 years.
Right, in the future then.
Yeah.
Yeah. How often is that revisited? I mean, is it every 20 years, or can you revise it every year, or is it ongoing, right?
In 2008, I believe, the state legislature revised the Planning Enabling Act to say that communities should actually open up their master plan every 5 years. And you are allowed to have your planning commission look at it and say, you know what, we reaffirm this vision, we don't think it needs any tweaks, and formally say we think it still holds strong. The current Garden City plan was adopted in 2017, so we're coming up on almost 8 years or so.
Okay, so what type of topics are included in a master plan?
So we talk about the existing conditions in a community. How much commercial land do you have? How much residential land? Of course, Garden
We're
City.
kind of land poor, really, aren't we?
Yeah,
as far as developing.
Yeah, there's not a lot of large vacant, under or not developed before land. So you're really a community that is looking at redevelopment and how you should smartly use the land that you do have.
Right.
We talk about transportation networks, which is very important, especially moving into the future. You hear so much about younger people and also aging people not being as mobile in terms of their use of automobiles. You hear the statistics about young people not getting their driver's license. So they rely on walking, riding
Mass
their bikes,
transit.
mass transit, all these things. So we have
Your
to
favorite?
more and more consider how people can get around within Garden City and also travel through.
Yeah. Richard, you got to come.
Yeah, I want to hear this.
Oh, I love mass transit.
He does.
I simply wish that mass transit would
Expand.
consolidate and expand because
More to the suburbs.
where I work in downtown Detroit, effective next year, we will have 4 systems that overlap each other at certain points downtown.
Right.
Wow.
That's incredibly unacceptable and inefficient.
It is. It
and
really
it's
is.
because those that have the ultimate decision-making authority, the governor, the legislature, haven't insisted otherwise. And I wish they would.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Make them come together.
Yeah. And
But obviously, mass transit is it will always be subsidized. It will always be necessary, and our communities will always rely on it to degrees we don't even, as lay people, really know.
right, like compared to Chicago or New York,
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
people don't know what a subway is here. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah.
And mass transit, really.
It's interesting. I think we're, maybe coming to the party a little bit late compared to our neighboring
A little bit.
states.
Yeah, a little bit.
But I think
Century or so.
we can do it if people really decide that it's something they value.
Yeah. Yeah. So why does Garden City need this master plan? I mean,
So, it's important to establish a vision first and foremost. And, coming out of the recession, of course, there are certain changes that took place. We have to understand who is living here now and what types of needs they have in terms of, shopping, institutional land. Do they need more parks? Do they need
because
more
communities
employment?
change all the time. I
They
mean, they're
do.
constantly changing in different, people need different things,
Yep.
right?
Yes, absolutely. So it's really about matching up your existing population where you're forecasted to be, and then, of course, figuring out what's best for your community. And making sure that the land use resources are smartly aligned in terms of not over planning for commercial and saying we can have commercial anywhere, thereby neglecting certain areas that are already established.
So how does a community like Garden City that doesn't have the land mass, how do they expand on what they have? I mean,
So if you think about
Skyscrapers.
Yeah,
you
go up.
build up, right?
well, you could, but you also, I was going to
Is that
say,
acceptable? Would that be acceptable in Garden City?
I'm trying to remember what
We
the
have
maximum
restrictions.
building height is. I think
Is there?
2 or 3
I think
stories right
3.
around 4 in the middle belt.
So what if you wanted to go what would you have to do? Petition the state or who do
Zoning
you-
board.
Zoning board?
Planning
Planning.
commission. Anyone can actually approach the planning commission with a proposed amendment to the zoning ordinance, for
Okay.
example. So if they wanted to do something that wasn't allowed in the ordinance, they could bring a proposed change to the ordinance and show, make their case to the planning commission why they think that would be the right thing to do. But, if you, I hope even people who are listening at home, if you hop on the internet and you type in to Google Maps or whatever map service you use, Ford and Middle Belt, Garden City, Michigan, what will jump out at you is the sea of underutilized parking. We don't even have to go up yet. I mean, there's more than enough land in our commercial areas to actually develop more dense, walkable
Downsize the
areas.
parking then you're saying
Yeah,
and
I mean-
utilize that more?
Think about how many full parking lots you actually see at those 4 corners.
Yeah.
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 And even spreading out westward and eastward.
Yeah,
That
true.
said, we talk in our task force meeting
Yeah.
about how the typical commercial property along Ford Road is only 100 feet deep. That is really tough to fit in your parking, your landscaping, your building, to make it large enough to actually get any viable user in there. So there are
Parking has to be behind the buildings, almost exclusively.
Yeah, although outside the central business district, you can have parking in front of the building. So there are definitely opportunities in that central business district area for more dense development. And then in the future, it might be, that we need to think about how to get those
Well, I know.
100-foot lots
like you said at the task force meeting, we've talked about medical center maybe.
Yeah.
We have, Garden City Hospital. That's our largest employer.
Yeah.
How can we build off of that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's an example, though, of a very tightly developed site where
Very
they
tight.
could afford to go. I mean, I'm not saying financially, I'm not going to.
Right, but that's where they could go up.
That would be a natural place for a parking deck.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Parking's. Go ahead.
Well, when I was younger, for example, when we were younger, there was no such thing as an outlot anywhere.
Right.
Now go to any area where there's a congregation of stores, for example, Westland Mall being closest to us, and outlots are what contributes to the promotion of the big mall.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean the parking's always been there, which is very interesting. And as
that
you
is
said
interesting.
Sarah, I was thinking about that. Kroger has more than enough parking.
Right.
Behind Tony's restaurant, for example, there's always volumes of parking available.
Yeah.
Behind the booths, there's tons of parking.
For sure.
I hadn't thought about it that
It's
way.
a resource.
Kmart,
Yeah, absolutely.
But then the DDA uses that behind Tony's there too for events and that. I mean, where would
absolutely.
That's
you do need some of it though.
Yeah.
Or develop.
I think that if we got
else.
to a place where there were so many developers knocking on our door saying, we want to develop these outlets, we could find an awesome place for, farmers market, a place to accommodate the other community events. We would make it happen. We would have more resources.
Yeah, we'd have to,
And it would be a good thing.
Yeah. Farmers market, I hear a lot of it.
People wanting it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear that?
I haven't, but I assume so because it's a great community event.
So what are you most excited about this plan? I mean, what are some of the fresh ideas that you're excited about?
I think some of the stuff we talked about in the downtown area, I really think that this plan handles that well. Also, we've been talking about the large lot residential areas actually surrounding downtown and the option for creating smaller lots with smaller homes that are more walkable in nature. So
right.
When you think about traditional neighborhood design and the types of environments that millennials and even some younger generation Xers like to live in, we think that could be accommodated. We're talking about like small single family homes, but also what the state calls the missing middle housing.
Okay.
And that's anything pretty much between a duplex and like your kind of traditional style apartment. So bungalow courts, mid-rise, more dense but homey feeling multifamily.
As long as none of that infringes on us boomers, I'm okay with
Exactly. You can coexist very well.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so anything else on the master plan that you wanted to cover?
Oh, well, actually, I would like to say one thing.
Yeah.
So we, at this point, have the plan pretty much fully drafted. It's been in front of Planning Commission. It has not had its final say in front of City Council, but sometime we're hoping in May or June we'll be holding a drop-in open house for residents or business owners to drop into City Hall and take a chat with Amy Neary, who is the lead planner in Garden City from McKenna Associates. So I think we haven't set the date yet with the city manager, but I think what I'll do is let you know, Carrie, and maybe you could announce it in the
Absolutely.
future.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Great.
I have to bring up McDonald's.
Okay.
Let's talk
Where
McDonald's.
are we?
Yeah,
Yes.
where are we? Where do we stand?
I'm happy you're bringing this up.
Yeah.
So, you may know that McDonald's came in front of the Planning Commission. They had a site plan prepared, and they came in front of the Planning Commission to get their input. And Planning Commission was pretty happy with what they saw. They did have some recommended revisions in terms of, I think that it was the parking and kind of traffic layout surrounding the drive-through. So we believe that the ball is in McDonald's court, and we've been in touch with the owner-operator, and he basically has said that corporate is reviewing the plans and kind of getting their figures together, I suppose, on this project. So I would be surprised if anything happened in 2015 since, we're getting...
Really?
I could be wrong, because McDonald's can move fast, but...
well, it's up to their corporate, yeah.
The ball's in
But
their
they've
court.
met the Planning Commission's
No,
pretty much?
so they actually haven't fully submitted their new site plan application.
Oh, okay.
So they got concept level instructions from the Planning Commission.
Okay.
So I think what they're doing is having corporate review the plan as it was directed by Planning Commission, and then they'll formally apply. And we'll get it approved. I mean, we understand very clearly.
So you're sure it's still a go? I mean, you just don't know when.
I'm not going to say I'm sure about anything. I mean, when you know how.
Because I mean, I'd hate to see McDonald's pull out of this for some stupid reason.
It would be a silly business decision.
Yeah.
We know it would be.
Okay.
I
Is
mean,
it the zero lot line thing? Is that part of it?
It's
I mean.
Well, I know their drive-through is very important to them.
Absolutely.
That's
should be
75% of their business, I think.
Yeah, and it's
And
going
that
to
had something to
continue
do
to
with-
be important to them. We like to say anything can be designed, anything can be engineered. There's
right.
a way to handle anything. There are McDonald's
Just
and
making
far
each
more
side
urban
happy.
environments.
That's the
exactly.
thing.
And we have heard loud and clear from City Council, Planning Commission, administration, and
Let's
very
move.
interested
Yeah.
residents. We have to get this done. So
Yeah.
we'll make it happen. But keeping, that should be the nicest McDonald's anyone around here has ever seen.
Oh,
Do you think we can deliver
state of
that?
the art.
Yep. And it
should
needs
be.
to respect the form of the building like across the street, Oren's building. That's your signature building. And it needs to have a coordinated relationship with that building.
There you go. Lots of limestone.
I would love that.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
we
would.
would.
That would be interesting.
Cheryl and I, during one of our visits to Los Angeles, we went to a drive-through underground
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah.
wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I
I'll have to Google that.
Yeah, even in Birmingham, which I realize is different from here, but it's still a Michigan example. They have a Tim Hortons where the drive-thru is actually enclosed in a building, and so it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
A triangle.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. It's off
Oh.
of Woodward, I believe.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
so it can be done. It will be done.
All right. Well, I had to touch on that because I know a lot of listeners are
I
going to
know.
want to know the answer to that question.
I
so
get it.
it's still a go. We just don't know when.
Exactly.
It'll be approved. Just gotta play the game.
Get it there.
All right. The Community Development Block Grant.
Yeah.
What is the CDBG?
Well, planners and government types love acronyms. So that's the Community Development Block Grant Program, which is a federal grant program that comes through the Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Okay.
Garden City is not large enough to get its own grant funding stream from the federal government, so we go through Wayne County. And each year, Wayne County is nice enough to allow communities within the county to apply to them to get, varying degrees of funding for projects that primarily are there to benefit low to moderate income householders, individuals, and also people with disabilities.
So the amounts vary though from you, right?
Yeah, so for example, this year we are at, I think, about $150,000 for the upcoming year from the county. And the Garden City's allocation bounces between like $130,000 and $170,000.
Okay.
Yep.
So how do homeowners qualify for housing rehab?
Yeah, so housing rehab
Assistance.
is the biggest project under Garden City's CDBG program, and it is meant to allow homeowners to improve their homes. They have to qualify, be income qualified, and I think this would be helpful to give you an understanding. So if there are 4 people in your household, if you make $54,150 or less, you would qualify under the program. So, we're not talking very low income.
No,
It's
no, not at all.
really for your normal family.
Wow.
So you have to have owned your
kinda
home
nice.
for 1 year.
Okay.
You have to have everything current, like your insurance, your water, taxes, and you have to be income qualified. And of course, we can get the information out to what the other dollar amounts per household are. So you would apply to the program. You put on a wait list because there is more demand right now than there is funding. And we can do things like repair roofs, windows, driveways, basically anything to bring your home up to code. So we're not talking aesthetic remodel stuff.
So does each community have their own wait list, or is that wait list the entire county wait list?
It's just for Garden City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the demand's really
I
quite a
think
bit?
Right now, there's about 7 applicants, I believe, in the city who are working on getting all their materials together, because all those things that I just mentioned as requirements, you need to prove that to the city with your application.
Oh, yeah.
So it does take people some time to get that stuff together. And then after you're approved, you have to go through the inspection process. We have to draw up the specifications. It's bid out under the city's bidding requirements, and then we're required to go with the lowest qualified bidder. So, the process definitely takes more time than we wish it would, but those federal guidelines are in place for a reason, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, so who do people contact for that now?
Okay, so Cheryl Petty at City Hall, she is
Cheryl.
the mayor and the city manager's assistant. She is the keeper of the application.
Okay.
But they are also on the city's website. So those of your listeners who are more computer savvy can go on to
print it out or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's under planning and building department. And that's the most up-to-date application, which also has those dollar amounts in there to see if your family qualifies. Also, people can contact Patrick Sloan. He's also from my office.
Okay.
And he is at City Hall on Tuesdays and can be reached at our office. Our phone number is 248-596-0920. And again, his name is Patrick Sloan.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. Richard, any questions?
IDK. I don't know.
You don't know?
We use acronyms in government. Right?
Yeah, I know.
Right.
No,
Jesus.
No, nothing. Actually, the meeting that I was in attendance when this show began tonight,
correlates with
we
that.
also talked about CDBG because on occasion there are communities within the county who don't spend their allocation, and so there can be reallocation. So we were talking about a project in Westland that fit the bill for one of those that I'm currently working on. So,
Neat.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, one more thing I would like to say.
Absolutely.
Excuse me.
That's
the
okay.
park improvement the
Oh,
bathroom parks, that's CDBG funded.
Oh,
so
okay.
remember I said earlier that, it's to help people with disabilities as well. So the park right now is being brought up to Americans with Disabilities Act standards. So that's a great
huge.
way
That's
to
a big deal.
use that funding. Next year, starting July 1st, the grant money that the city gets, we applied to have improvements to the fire station.
Okay.
I think they're going to be getting new doors and also windows as funding permits. So
very good.
those
very
are
good.
really visible improvements.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Mike, anything for Sarah?
No, where we really need help is in the DPS building, if you want to talk about a place that's in bad need of updating or replacement.
Yeah, in the past we've funded Maplewood Center improvements, the
they've
sliding
done a
doors,
lot over
the
there.
ADA, stuff like that.
Yeah, all them windows and everything probably come from it over at Maplewood.
Actually, that was a
Or was that
energy
something different?
efficiency
Oh,
program.
okay.
That was part of the recovery, so we applied to the state for that.
Okay.
It was called EECBG.
Oh boy, don't confuse me anymore.
Sorry.
Don't even go there, Richard. So anything else you wanted to cover while you're here?
I don't think so. I just really appreciate letting letting us talk.
It's been a
about
pleasure having you on here. I see you all the time at task force
it's
meeting,
true.
and I just thought it'd be great to have you on.
We appreciate it.
And anytime you want to come back, you're more than welcome.
For sure.
So stick around if you want to listen to the rest of the show. David's going to be coming on.
I'd like that.
If you have any questions.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. All right. David, are you there?
I am here.
I know you're pressed for time, so we're going to get to you real quick here. What do you got for us out of Lansing?
The major piece, can you guys hear me? I'm on the road, so I want to make sure you can hear me.
Loud and clear.
Major thing coming out of Lansing right now really is the budget. We had, with today's session, every single subcommittee out of the Senate has reported their subcommittee budgets now for consideration by the entire Appropriations Committee. I had the opportunity to work on the state police budget along with the military and veterans affairs budget and the community college budget. So what you're seeing across the board, at least for the three that I was working on, we're scaling back a little bit, having to tighten up the belt a bit with the decreased revenues that are coming in across the state right now.
Yeah.
But having worked with the community colleges and the departments they feel very strongly that they're still going to be able to meet all the demands that they have on their time and on their schedule. So the budget process still eating up most of our time. I think I've shared it on previous shows, and I'll share it again. There's really not much controversial legislation that's being introduced right now. And again, simply by virtue of the fact that nobody wants to go too aggressively with the roads package that's going to be on the ballot coming up here May 5th. So,
yeah, speaking of that,
we've had. Sorry, say again.
Speaking of that, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Ahead.
Well, I was just wondering your thoughts on Representative. Is it Lucido? Yeah. What do you think of him wanting to introduce a bill to use the catastrophic insurance fund for the roads?
I'd probably disagree. Well, not probably. I would disagree with that. That money is set aside for a specific purpose. And
well, he seems to feel it's just stockpiling, and it hasn't been used in several years for, Right. I mean, Snyder thought that it'd be a nice plan B, maybe, but
no, it's
not
not
at this
government
point.
money.
Yeah, it isn't. I know
it's not
isn't.
government money. This question came up at the meeting I just left.
Yeah.
Right.
So they couldn't dip into that.
No. They have the state has no authority over that money, and it's not state money.
Okay. All right. So why did he even bring that up?
Well, I mean, he sees a pot of money sitting there, and again, that money has been set aside for a specific purpose, for specific use.
Yeah.
I wish I could tell you exactly how much is in it or why.
Well,
we're
like
having to
$20
go
billion
there
or something,
in the first
according to
place,
him.
But yeah, they're not open on the reports or the books for us to look at. But as the commissioner pointed out, that's not state money. We have no control over how it's being spent.
Mm-hmm.
And so, to say that's a plan B, honestly, something like that it's a media ploy more than anything else to try and get your name into the media. Really, substantively, you'd have no ability to use it, and it wouldn't even be a legitimate plan B. So I kind of just dusted off to the side myself.
Okay. Well, I wanted your comment on that.
Yeah, no problem. The other thing that's interesting, and I know I've talked about it enough, so I'm not going to belabor it anymore, but the 4-bill package that my staff and I have been writing with some other reps and senators on the service dogs piece, today was our final work group on that piece of legislation. We are trying to dot every I and cross every T before we introduce the bill.
Mm-hmm.
And so the plan right now moving forward, sometime after we come back from the in-district work period the next 2 weeks, we're going to be holding a press conference in the Capitol building to unveil the legislation. It's bipartisan, bicameral, 4-bill package, 2 senators, 1 Democrat, 1 Republican, 2 representatives, 1 Democrat, 1 Republican, and pretty confident now with all the work that we're doing on the front end that we're going to have a positive outcome at the end of the day and be able to get these guys with the service dogs some of the protections they need.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. It was funny when we were finalizing it. I went back to see when it was we introduced the first bill because it doesn't seem like you've been working on it for so long, but you know how the days kind of
fly by,
run together, and it's been 13 months now that we've been working on this. It's
oh
kind
my
of hard
gosh!
to believe.
Really?
13 months. The first time I introduced the bill was in February of 2014. So,
I remember, when you first talked about that.
Right.
Wow.
Right. So that's exciting stuff, but it's keeping us busy along with the budget. And today has just been kicking my butt. I had to drive up to Lansing this morning, had to drive home for an awards ceremony this evening. I'm in the car right now, headed back to Lansing for an event at 8:45, and then I'm done. I'm headed back home this evening.
Why are you going home?
It's Thursday.
Number one. So.
Well, I'm sorry I missed you up at Tony's too, by the way.
When was that now?
What was that, Monday or what day was that?
Monday.
Oh, when
I was sick.
The Wiesners.
Yeah, I was sick. I couldn't make it.
Yeah. How you feeling? You feeling any better?
Yeah, I'm getting there. Still taking the antibiotics. I'm good.
Cheryl's taking good care of you. Then you're on the road to recovery.
She's kind of got it too.
Got to take care of Cheryl.
Oh, does she really?
Yeah, she's on antibiotics too. So I don't know how she got it. Hey, I have no idea because we were like Berlin Wall between us.
I've been lucky these last couple of months. I haven't gotten sick. I didn't get away with it in 2014, but things are starting to warm up now, and hopefully before long here, we won't have to deal with the cold weather and
Right.
being worried about coming down with a cold.
Well, it's going around. I know that. Mayor Walker called me today and wanted to know how I was feeling, and he said it's going around Ford, so he hasn't got it yet. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carrie,
For a while there,
the Berlin Wall's been torn down, by the way.
Yeah,
Mr. Gorbachev, knock down that wall. Tear down.
Tear down. Oh. Well, look, I'm not going to keep you much longer. Sarah's still here. You have anything you want to say to Sarah? You know Sarah,
No,
right?
yeah. I mean, it's always great to hear the work that they're doing at the firm over there, and as she pointed out, it's really important in terms of Garden City putting a long-term plan together. So, yeah, I've talked to you a little bit about some of the things I've been trying to pull together with the Natural Resources Trust Fund and trying to get some additional projects approved down there in Garden City. Sat down with my folks up in Redford Township earlier this week. We got a couple projects going that we're trying to get approved or get the funding approved for. So hopefully, and again, with stuff like that, it comes down to whether or not the community has the matching dollars.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, with the plans on file with the DNR, the 5-year recreation plan, you know, we've got use for some projects without question. It's just a matter of whether or not we're going to have, I guess you could look at it almost like discretionary income from a personal perspective, to where we can make some of those investments and put up the matching dollars to bring some of the state dollars down too. But they're doing a pretty good job up in Redford Township. They've got all their cell phone tower revenues dedicated towards matching dollars to go towards the Natural Resources Trust Fund. So
yeah, that's smart.
We're going to try and get we're going to try and get the ball rolling for them. One of the funny things though about Redford is, you know, they had a plot of land that was the recipient of some state dollars in previous years. When they put up that cell phone tower, they more or less negated their ability to apply for additional funding dollars because they're now making revenue off of it. And so when they go through the application process, it's on a point system. And I think having that cell phone tower, even though it gives them the revenue to do the matching dollars, it gives them a 50-point hit, a 50-point negative on their application. So we're trying to do some changes at the state level there to make sure we're not punishing our locals when they're trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Where is that cell phone tower? Is that by City Hall?
Park?
In the park?
Yeah, it's the one over at Claude Allison Park.
Oh, Claude Allison, Sub Mountain Beach there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, I know it well.
Yes, sir.
Played softball over there. I was born and raised in Redford.
Yeah, I know you're a Redford guy.
Yep. All right.
Good community. They're no Garden City, but they're a good community. I'll say
Yeah, they're no Garden City. You're right. Go ahead. Richard's got something smart to say.
I was just texting Tracy, that's all.
Oh, okay.
Nothing other than
come on
that.
now. Come on now.
Oh, she's getting
I would never
shout
do
out.
that to my senator.
If I went on a Redford talk show host,
Right.
you know,
Turnabout
might
square
be a
play.
different story here.
Mm-hmm. Sarah, you want to comment?
Oh, no,
anything?
thank you. It was nice talking to you, Senator.
All right.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm sorry I didn't think you were talking to me.
Oh, it's okay.
Hey, well, thanks for coming on. It's always better to have you in the studio. You know, Cheryl misses you, so.
Well, I get some quality beverages in the studio as well, so we
Yes.
appreciate that.
Yes, there are quality beverages. Richard's ears just perked up.
Beverages.
Beverages, cold beverages.
All right. Well, look, Senator, have a good night, and we'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate it, Kerry. We'll talk to you all later.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
All right. Let's get Richard in. Richard, what do you got in the county?
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
The county exec announced yesterday that part of the effort to address the accumulated deficit and the ongoing debt and et cetera, will involve the potential consolidation of county services. I didn't know, and I still don't know the exact number, but I didn't realize that the county operates out of about 250 different locations. And
That many?
yeah, I was kind of floored by that.
That is.
So the plan in detail has not been divulged or announced, but yesterday in a press release it indicated that there are a number of things that are being considered to move folks into the Guardian Building downtown to better utilize available office space and to shutter and potentially market other places. And one of them, yet another item that came up in the meeting I just left, involves the Eloise property.
Oh.
So up for consideration is the moving of the homeless shelter, but maybe not on an at-large basis. In other words, not moving everybody to a certain place, but potentially utilizing a voucher system where, by way of example, and this is the way the executive put it to me last week, you'd give a family a voucher and they may stay at an area hotel for a couple of months.
Yeah.
But so there wouldn't be necessarily a number of families together at the same time. The goal is still obviously to keep families themselves together.
Right.
But also proposed to be moved is Meals on Wheels, the senior services, and the veterans services that are operated out of the Key Beer building.
Wow.
So, you know, for those of us that have been in there, the building is, I'm going to say, decrepit. Really unfortunate that it has not been maintained.
Yeah.
But it has not.
Yeah.
And it's wholly underutilized. So I was asked last week how I might react to that plan, and then, of course, I saw it come out yesterday. And I said I am as open-minded and objective as most anybody should be, in my opinion, regarding the consolidation of county offerings, services,
It's the name of the game.
locations,
Everybody wants to
etc.
consolidate.
And if the end goal is to market properties after they've been exited, then I want to see the plan.
Yeah.
So if you look at the Eloise property, you're talking a significant chunk of land that could potentially be marketed, put on the tax rolls. It's interesting to think about. There are a number of other places as well. And my only criticism, and it really wasn't that, it was more of an observation, is that if we're proposing to move certain functions to the Guardian building, and those functions include the public, in other words, not just an office where people do their stuff on a computer, but if they involve interaction with people, I'm not a big fan of the Guardian building. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
Yeah.
It is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
But in terms of a government building, it does not function like a government building. There's no parking, for one thing.
Yeah.
You have to go through security to get anywhere in the building. You have to get carted onto an elevator. It's just not a friendly place to be doing government business.
Yeah.
So, I look forward to seeing an expansion of the plan. That's probably the biggest thing that's...
You know what I heard? Something I heard which was kind of interesting is the executive gave Kim Worthy the go-ahead to hire some more prosecutors.
I'm not aware of that.
Yes. I just read that on the news today.
Well, so...
To help her try and get caught up a little bit.
I think what I'll infer from that is that his budget would propose to finance the hiring of others, because the county commission is the one that authorizes expenditures, authorizes the budget. So
well, then they misquoted him, because he was quoted as saying giving her the green light. So I don't know.
Well, the green light may be there, but the green money
it's got to come through you guys first,
comes
right?
From the county commission. And to be very forthright, there are no funds available within that particular budget to hire anybody. There's not.
So how's that going to happen?
Well, I don't know. So as I said, this is news to me. I'm not aware of it.
I wish I had an article. I'd bring it up.
I guess I'm kind of enthused about seeing what that plan will look like, because public safety is our amongst
number
the very
one.
highest of issues.
Absolutely.
And it's not a secret that the prosecutor's office and the Department of Sheriff Department are responsible for nearly the entire accumulated deficit and the structural
But
deficit.
they've been cut pretty good.
They have. I'm not
I mean,
saying
they've
that
been hammered. There's
I'm
no
not
doubt.
saying that they've squandered money. What I'm saying is revenue has not been at a level to allow them to, if you listen to what those departments say, to do their job like it needs to be done. So if the executive is proposing in his next budget to increase expenditures in that area,
well, it's going to be interesting, like you said.
I'll look forward to seeing where they're going to find the money.
Shuffle the money around. Right?
And I'm not at all opposed to that.
Yeah.
Thus far, I've shared with him when he was in my office last Thursday, and I've shared with other people, publicly and privately. I'm impressed with a number of things so far. The first is that the executive appears to have built a good team with some folks that were there and some folks that have been hired new. I'm also exceedingly impressed that there are no leaks out of that office. Nothing has been leaked.
Pretty tight, huh?
Very tight, and it's impressive.
Yeah.
You know,
it is.
You get the word, this is between us, and it'll stay. I'm not going to divulge it, and they don't.
Mm-hmm.
So, I had a little bit of an advance notice what they were looking at a couple of weeks regarding LOEs, and part of it's because I represent Westland, and there are sensitivities associated with what goes on there and the property itself. There's a lot of history there.
So one could look at that being tight-lipped like that is he's surrounding himself with a bunch of yes men. You could look at it that way too.
But I don't.
I mean, some people will.
That way.
Some people would.
The way that I look at it is that he has some folks who,
I mean,
maybe not all of them having been involved in government, but they recognize what happens though.
Yeah.
When you leak stuff like that, I've been in meetings where
I know it.
And I'm being very literal right here. You're in a closed room and you discuss stuff, and this is private, and it's the first time it's been shared. And I've walked out of a room and seen someone share it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm talking like 10 seconds later. I've actually personally witnessed that, and you can't operate in that environment for very long. So, having said all of that, the executive is probably a lot like Mayor Duggan, coming in at a real opportune time. When things are really bad, sure, they can get a little bit worse, but there's a better chance that they're going to get a lot better.
Yeah.
And
they're both going to be under the gun. There's no doubt, Duggan and him. So.
Well, but
I mean,
I was at a function earlier today.
Time will tell, right?
And we were talking with various people about downtown Detroit. And I said, I worked in Detroit in the early 70s. Then I didn't work in Detroit.
Old, man.
I didn't work in Detroit until 2013.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the tax rate was still the same, which is lousy.
Yeah.
But I guess my thoughts were a lot different than the reality. And the reality is that admittedly it's in pockets, but in the downtown area, you can't find parking, and you can't find a vacant storefront. Yeah. There is a lot of stuff happening. A lot of people. The streets are jam-packed. And there's a lot of optimism and excitement.
Yeah.
And that is great.
New arena coming, too, down there.
Yeah, I mean, it's really great to see.
It's booming.
So
now they're wanting to, spread out a little further, just not in the downtown area.
And the executive has gotten a pass regarding the jail thus far. Folks are saying, look, be deliberate.
Yeah.
Don't jump before it's time to jump.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you that, I'm chair of economic development, so economic stuff comes through my committee. We're going to be considering something, hopefully within the next 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, that involves the Pinnacle property near the airport. The old casino stuff.
Yes.
That was a $25 million disaster.
Talk about
for
land,
taxpayers.
right? There's a lot of land there.
But if this happens, first of all, we will be, as a commission, it's my intent that we are going to be very deliberate. I've been asked to, I guess maybe cut a corner is not fair, but I'll say my impression was I've been asked to cut a corner or two to allow for certain things to happen, and I've said no. We're not doing that. We're going to put it through the regular process, and it's not a ringer. It's a process. And we will evaluate and make determination along the way. But if this happens, you're talking a really, really huge chunk of money that's going to be spent in Wayne County. Wow. And I'm hopeful. Yeah. And plus, it's going to get Wayne County
Sarah's liking it.
Off of something.
Theory.
You do.
You do.
Let's hear it. We want to hear it.
Oh, no. I just, everywhere I go, all I hear is outlet stores, outlet stores.
Oh,
I just
yeah,
keep on hearing about outlet stores.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah. I have I need to say, no knowledge of any of this whatsoever.
Yeah. And I'll say that.
Disclaimer.
That while there could be an element of that, it's not been shared. It's much more than that.
Nice.
And
Higher quality jobs. Or,
so, folks are coming in from another country to testify.
Really?
And so, we'll see. If this pans out, it'll lend itself to, again, getting us out of a pickle, and at the same time generating potential revenue and jobs. Jobs.
That's the thing, man.
Yeah.
We need the jobs, we need the revenue.
Yeah, right now, it's just a $25 million disaster on top of other multi-million-dollar disasters.
I know.
So, yeah, some good stuff coming, I think.
And that'd be a good area to get some transit down to, too.
Yes.
Really close to the airport
Yes.
there.
It would.
Yeah. I tell you.
I'm surprised there hasn't been.
I think that you people here were listening in on my meeting in
No,
Westland.
I promise we
Because
weren't.
I was also asked about something
We had
that
a
I
little
was
spy,
pushing
didn't we?
in the legislature in the mid-2000s, and that was the commuter rail from Lansing, from Ann Arbor to Detroit first, with a stop in Westland. We were talking about that, and proximity to the airport. You know, locating right off of Merriman Road and then shooting right down to the airport, or shooting, elsewhere. But it's dead for now because federal money is not there.
Yeah,
But things are in place, and if the economy continues to rise, and if fuel continues to be
stable,
moderate and reasonable, it will greatly contribute to that.
Yeah. Sarah?
Right, so I'm okay with that.
Cool.
Any comments, Sarah?
No, thank you.
Mike, what do you got?
No, this all sounds good. Let's just hope it comes into fruition. We got a lot of needs.
There's quite a bit of property over there by Eloise, too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's just sitting there, too, right? Could be developed
It's
something.
non-taxed property.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
just sitting there, it is just sitting there. It's delicate too, though. I mean, there are things to be mindful of.
Yeah.
And I know again that they're taking very measured steps regarding this, and not everybody will be happy when it's done, certainly. But it's time.
Nobody ever is.
It's time. When you look at some of the things that are happening and conversely are not happening within government, it's well beyond time. And for those who might be listening and those that are in this room right now, take a drive down Michigan Avenue in Merriman and drive into the parking lot and look at it, and you'll see, wow, really?
Yeah.
It doesn't put us in the best light.
No. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Hey, let's talk about something else.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Westland hockey game.
How about that? I saw your picture.
30,000.
Yeah.
10,000 from
10,000
McDonald.
from McDonald himself. Which
That's awesome.
That was very cool.
That was classy. That really was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they've raised over 100,000 in 6 years. This is their sixth annual. They had over 1,000 people there.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. We need a parking lot expansion.
Yeah.
For the peak demand.
I was
Once a
actually
year.
surprised that the parking wasn't too bad when we got there. I mean, we got the doors opened at, 5:30. I think we got there at 5:45, something like that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too bad yet. We got up pretty close. So.
Yeah, but it got bad. And
Oh,
it
yeah.
always does.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
hey, folks know that. It's the way it is.
Yeah, and I was very impressed. I mean, they put on a good show. They really do.
And that $100,000 that's been, I'll call it donated, really, because that's what happens. Folks pay to attend a hockey game.
Right.
That money has really allowed for the arena to be improved at a level that would not otherwise have been accomplished. I mean, I remember skating there as a kid. It was open. It was just, ice on plywood.
Yeah. Yeah.
No roof.
Wow.
And, today.
It is a nice arena.
It's very nice.
It is. It's one of the top community arenas, I'd say, around.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that because I don't go to all of them, but.
I mean, Dearborn's got a pretty nice one, too, I think, from what I hear.
Oh, Ed, right?
I'm not a hockey person.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hear about Garden Cities. I heard Garden City has a really nice one.
Garden City, it is. For the size, I mean,
Right.
it is. It's awesome. And they've done
Expanding
a
the
lot.
locker room.
They've done a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah, yeah.
improvements. They
Yeah.
really have. Yeah, yeah.
Twin Tower.
Boy, what was I going to say? I had something I wanted to say. I forgot. Ooh. Oh, no. Oh, I know. I have to personally thank Vic Barra, though, for our tickets. He donated 10 of them from Wayne Ford Civic. So I donated a lot of them out, got them out, got rid of them. So that was very nice of Vic. Thank you, Vic. Rick, Vic, whatever. So what else you got? Nothing else?
I gotta save stuff, you know.
Yeah, we do have another show next week, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, are you going to be here next week?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 23rd.
Are you gonna boot me again like you did 2 weeks ago?
23rd, you're booted. I think you're going somewhere. I think I got an email
see.
from Jay.
Oh, that big event in Dearborn.
Yeah, some
yes.
gala.
Yeah, you'll have no politicians on the show that night.
Yeah, I know.
We'll all be there.
Yeah. Well, not everybody, but pretty much. All right, well, we'll let you slide then till next week.
I might not be there that night either.
Where?
23rd.
Why?
Yankees are in town.
What's your excuse?
They are?
Yeah, 11 more days till opening day, man. Won't be long.
Well, that might be a day game, though. I don't know.
I want to say hi to Sneezy in the chat room. He's in there.
They are.
Nice to see you. And guest 3 and guest 2. And
10-game homestand.
all right. Let's do a couple announcements here. The city council wanted me to remind you that the next council meeting will be Monday, April the 6th at 7 p.m.
Correction.
Oh, wait, they did change that, didn't
Right.
they?
It's going to be at 6 p.m. and it's going to be in the police station multi-purpose room.
That's right. Okay, tell us again, what is it now? It's going to be 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock at the police station.
Okay. In the multi-purpose room there. Okay.
Right.
All right. Yeah, I forgot. I
Well, I'm
watched
glad
that.
at least one person here got it right.
Yeah.
Well, some people attend the city council meetings, so they know these things.
Well, that's the March 30th meeting, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, March 30th.
Yeah.
Well,
and
this
then
is
April 6th
this is
would be
April
normal
6th. That's
back
going to be a
at
normal
City
one.
Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike. What you trying to do to me?
No,
Yeah.
The next meeting
Yeah,
is
Mike.
March 30th.
Yeah,
Right.
Monday at 6
Right.
o'clock.
Yeah.
And then again, that's
April
a special
6th.
meeting
Yeah, that's a special one.
on the 30th.
What is that for?
April 6th has been canceled.
Oh,
You sure
the
April
30th,
6th was canceled?
The 30th.
Yes.
I can only speak to the 30th.
I think you're right.
It's for the proposed capital improvements program,
Oh,
and then
okay.
I believe it's introduction of the budget.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, they're going to start that. Okay.
They still have meetings on. Right. They still have meetings on the 13th and the 27th.
Yeah, I think they
So they
did
have two
cancel the
meetings that
6th
month.
because they're having it on the 30th, a special one. So you don't want to overwork them.
It's a fun time of year.
Yeah, I know.
It
fun
really
time.
is.
It
Oh,
is.
yeah.
They'll be stressed enough.
Okay, I'm canceling it on my calendar.
See if we have.
Well, I'll check with the mayor, but I'm pretty
Any more-
sure.
Yeah,
Any
good thing
more-
we're getting it straight for all the listeners,
Yeah,
right?
we'll get it straight. We'll get it straight by next show. Trust me. Now, I do know that the American Cancer Society Relay for Life of Garden City will start at 10 a.m. Saturday, May 30th at the Garden City Middle School track on Radcliffe, South Ford Road.
You're away.
Yeah, okay, you're away. You got to put this stuff on your calendar now, folks. Different this year is that it's going to be a 22-hour event rather than a 24-hour event. It's going to continue to be an overnight event, though, with teams generally packing up by 8 a.m. Local businesses also are being sought to get behind the event. Sponsorship opportunities are available at varying levels. Benefits may include such things as company logo printed on event T-shirts and banners. To register or for more information, visit relayforlife.org or call 800-227-2345. Let's get to Mike. Mike, you got some announcements. I'm going to let you go to work.
Okay, first one I have is
Thank
for
God.
tomorrow night, trivia. You are invited to join the Garden City High School Project Graduation Committee for an evening of fun, food, and fundraising. Project Grad Trivia Night. Adults only, $20 a person. You can have teams of 1 to 4 people. Fun activity to raise money for the Garden City High School Class of 2015 all-night party. It's going to be at the Dearborn Heights Moose Lodge on Warren Road, 27225 Warren Road. It's tomorrow night. Check-in begins at 6. Payment at the door. Trivia begins at 7. And the reason they're having it, of course, is to raise money for their all-night party that'll keep graduates safe and secure after commencement. Don't want them encountering spirits and getting on the road and living one day after they graduate. So if you're interested, you can email pg2015trivia@gmail.com so they can plan for the food and drink. Cash prizes will be awarded, raffles presented, food, drink, and an open bar. Any questions, contact Alan or Laura Bennett at 734-266-0232. Categories will include, but are not limited to, the 1980s, sports, movies, history, geography, Garden City, and entertainment. 1980s. Yeah. Well, they have to put something that the kids at least have heard about.
Right.
Moving along chronologically, the very next day, Garden City Kiwanis Club, in partnership with the Maplewood Community Center and the Garden City Public Library, is holding a special Easter extravaganza. Children's ages 12 and younger are invited to attend the event from 2 to 4 p.m. on Saturday, March 28th. Program will be held at the library. At the end of the program, 5 Easter baskets filled with candy and other fun prizes will be raffled off. Easter program requires a ticket for entry. The price of tickets is $3 per child or $5 for a family of 4 children. Tickets available to purchase at the library tomorrow, and I suppose even at the door, although they had 101 tickets sold as of today. It's a report that we had at the Kiwanis meeting, and they're limited to 150, so while supplies last.
Wow.
Library, of course, is at 31735 Maplewood in Garden City.
It's not going to be very warm either that day.
No. So supposedly the Easter egg hunt was intended to be outside, but I think that would depend on the temperature, but more on the mud.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's wet and muddy, I think they have to do it inside.
Well, it's going to be in the 30s, so maybe it'll be hard enough to where they go out there and just dress properly.
In case you didn't busy enough on Friday and Saturday night or Saturday afternoon, the next night, Sunday, March 29th at 5 p.m., Sunday, the Garden City Kiwanis Club will be having a comedy night at Albert's on the Alley. 56.
We'll be there.
Yeah, we will too. 5651 Middle Belt Road in Garden City, featuring David Dyer, Andy Benigo, and our own Kevin Kramus.
Yeah,
tickets are $20 per person. This is also an adult activity. They can be purchased from any Kiwanian at Albert's on the Alley or at the door on the night of the show. Any questions, contact John Fleming at 734-604-0227 or John at FlemingFinancialSVCSServices.com. They said they hope to get 120 for this, and we had something like 70
sold. Yeah,
sold as the last report.
Yeah, look at that last minute.
But more were coming in.
I think I had already. Yeah, I've talked to 2 or 3 people at least that changed their mind and think they're coming.
Yeah, it'll be an entertaining night. If past indications are anything to go on.
Yep.
We definitely have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to give you a few days off before the Garden City High School Girls Soccer Casino Night at the Greektown Casino, Saturday, April 4th, 2015. Depart from Garden City High School at 5 p.m., arrive at Greektown Casino 6, depart the casino at 11, and return to Garden City High School parking lot by 11:55. $30 per person, but that will include $20 of free play at the casino. So
not a bad deal.
Not a bad deal at all. Register before, well, too bad about that. There was only 56 spots available. You got to be 21 and over again. We have a lot of adult activities this next month in Garden City. For registration, contact Kathy Pickens at 313-806-3589 or Julie Dimopoulos.
When was that?
That is next week, Saturday, April 4th.
Okay.
I think this might be the final one I have. Saturday, April 11th. Yeah, we have a Bunko fundraiser.
You ever play bunco?
Never done it.
Never have.
Register at 6 o'clock. Game time 7 p.m. This is Gordon Chevrolet.
I think that's a girls' night out too.
318-50
calling
Ford Road.
it.
Maybe that's why I haven't been there. I don't know. didn't pass the physical.
Get your wig on.
Garden City. $20 food, prizes, and fun. Call Sherry Barber to pre-register at 734-458-5238 or sbarber at gordonchevrolet.com. And that's all I got, Jerry.
All right. Good job. Richard, what'd you have? You had something, I think, tomorrow night, is it?
I have 2 items.
2.
So the first one is going to be tomorrow night, hosted by the Westland Veterans Association.
Oh.
There will be what they're calling a bowling blast fundraiser at Westland Bowl on Wayne Road near Ford Road.
The
What it
reopened.
says, yes, what it says is $20 per person, includes 2 games of cosmic bowling. I'm not even sure what cosmic bowling is.
Oh, I know that.
Okay, what is it?
Yeah.
It's when they turn down the lights. I think it's like black light, you know?
Oh,
and
okay.
Everything's kind of blue. And,
Oh, okay.
Wow.
yeah.
Kind of like neon or something?
Yeah, you got
Okay,
it.
got you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, $20.
Glad
You
you
get
were
2
here to
games of
explain
that.
it.
You get shoes, you get pizza. There'll be 50-50 raffles and mystery game. Check-in is at 7 o'clock tomorrow at Westland Bowl, and bowling starts at 8. The other item is a week later, on Friday, Good Friday, April 3rd. Also at Westland Bowl, UAW Local 900 is hosting a veteran fundraiser. This will specifically go to assist disabled American veterans.
Very good.
So it's $20 for 2 games, also pizza and pop. There'll be basket raffles and 50-50. The only question I had for that one is whether they'll have fish pizza, because, you know, it is
Yeah,
Good
really.
Friday.
Yeah.
So I'll have some
Yeah.
cod.
Sardine?
Yeah.
Yeah, sardines.
But anyway, that one's next
Anchovy,
Friday.
that's what I meant.
Sardines.
Same thing.
Yeah.
2 Fridays in a row. If you're interested in assisting veterans and you got $20 to spare, head over to Westland Bowl
Awesome.
at 7 o'clock on either night.
That will work. All right, and we're still in April. Saturday, April 11th, Garden City High School project graduation is having Euchre Night at the Dearborn Heights Moose Lodge, 1795, located at 27225 Warren Road in Dearborn Heights. Registration begins at 6, and games begin at 7. $20 per person. Proceeds to benefit the Garden City High School class of 2015 all-night party. For more information, call Alan or Laura Bennett at 734-266-0232. Cash prizes for the top 5 highest points. Raffles, 50-50, food, pop, beer. Must be 21 or older, another adult event. Hey, here's one for everybody, though. Friends of the Garden City Library are having a used book sale April 13th through the 15th. Monday, 9 a.m. to 8, Tuesday, 9 a.m. to 8, Wednesday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Books are by the bag for $5. Garden City Library is located at 31735 Maplewood, and it's a good deal. They have tons of books over there. If you have any gently used books, they're taking those too. You can drop them off right at the library if you'd like to get rid of some. Willie the Pig Red Road Rally, Saturday, April 18th. Registration starts at 5 o'clock. I guess we're going to this too. At the Maplewood Center. Rally begins at 6. Teams of 2 or more. Cost is $10 a person. Sponsored by the Garden City DDA. And the funds are going to go to the Garden City's only community garden, which is also run by the Garden City Garden Club. Pre-registration is required. To register, call Lucky Dog at 734-261-7387. Registration fee is due on the day of the rally.
You see that Willie has a new American flag.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
You're kidding.
yeah. There's poles, got a big pole and an American flag in there
Oh,
next to Willie.
at the Commons Corner.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, right
Yeah.
next to Willie?
Yeah.
Yeah, the DDA installed that, and I also believe that they'll be able to use that pole to kind of be the center support for the
For the
Christmas
tree.
And next year they'll be able to actually do a taller tree than they were able to do this
Oh,
year.
so they installed the flagpole already there.
Yeah, I
Oh,
guess so.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They're
Yeah,
talking
they're
about
going to
getting
have
a bigger flag too. I mean, they have
Yeah,
have
absolutely.
one like the size that we have in our front yard. But
Yeah, I think they're going to have a
Yeah.
dedication.
Now that it's
too.
taller, I think that they can go for that.
Hey, and think spring, because Garden City High School Athletic Booster Club and Project Graduation are having their second annual spring golf outing Saturday, April 25th. Boy, I hope they have some decent weather. April 25th, that's not that far away. 4 golfers scramble, 7:30 a.m. registration, 8:30 shotgun start. Hot dog, drink, chips are at the turn. 2:30 p.m. a banquet dinner, prizes and raffle. Price is $85 per person, or $320 for a foursome. They're going to be at the Gateway Golf Club on Gateway Drive in Romulus. For more information, call Holly at 734-516-3652. Do you golf?
I have golfed, but I would never consider myself to be a golfer.
Yeah. So, I mean, you just...
way too slow.
Yeah. So...
It's got to be perfect.
So you and I would be good together. We could go.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
But I do enjoy it a lot.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to go out.
I'm just not good.
We'll have to go out. Does Cheryl? Cheryl
has not golfed.
No, but she'd drive the cart, right? So if me and my Cheryl went, you and your Cheryl, right?
There you go.
Okay, there you go. We'll make a date.
All right.
You are invited to join the conversation.
Slow ride is what they would call that. Fog hat.
Councilman Lisa Hicks Clayton will sponsor the Center for Michigan Community Conversations on Saturday, April 25th from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Caroline County Library, 24590 George Street in Dearborn Heights. Join the conversation, getting to work in Michigan, opportunities and hurdles, college value, and affordability. And you know what? I'm not going to say this one yet because this is getting into May. Yeah, I'll say it. Mark your calendars for May 16th. Garden City Lions Club. They're having their 5th annual charity bowl at Cherry Hill Lanes, 300 Inkster Road, Dearborn Heights. Time is 5 o'clock. For $20, you get 3 games, shoes, pizza and pop, mystery 50-50, trophies for first place. Best in high games for women and men. The best in our tin can raffle baskets that are loaded with great things. Give Cindy Wagner a call at 313-407-0239. And as we get closer, we'll announce these as we get closer. So
earlier that day, same day, you may want to bring your kids 4 to 12 to Kids Day in the Park in Garden City.
Oh, that's a big deal. That's a real big deal. Yeah, I'll be.
We've got bouncers, we've got clowns, we've got
scavenger hunt.
That's
what I run.
ID.
The kids love
cookie
me.
Decorating, all kinds of stuff.
Well, let's try and get the bathrooms open by then.
Yeah, it's the same day that the ice arena's got a big skate thing going on too.
Yeah, it's a big deal, that Kids Day in the Park. It really is. Spend a lot of money on that. All right, remember, if you're interested in coming on the show, we'd love to have you. Maybe you own a business or you provide a service you'd like to share with our surrounding communities. If so, then now is the time to contact us so we can get you scheduled for an upcoming show. If you're interested, just email us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com. We'll shoot you some dates that are available, and it's that simple. Look forward to hearing from you. All right, let me mention the Garden City Business Alliance. We will be having our next monthly meeting Friday, April 10th, 6 p.m. at the Guardian Martial Arts Building, located at 30942 Ford Road, and that's just east of Merriman. They urge all businesses to attend and come and see what they're all about. Bring some business cards because networking is always welcome. Now, one of the events that the GCBA, in collaboration with the DDA, is having is the 2015 Garden City Taste Fest, to be held on May 19th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. You'll have opportunity to sample 8 of Garden City's great restaurants. We're looking for sponsorships, so if you're interested in being a sponsor, we can shoot you a form. Just contact us. For more information and details, it will follow. Also, they are hoping to do a business expo sometime later this year, possibly in September. So if you think you might be interested in participating in the business expo, please send an email to gcbusinessalliance@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Now, if you're interested in joining or would like more information about the GCBA, check out their website at gardencitybusinessalliance.org, or once again, email them at gcbusinessalliance@gmail.com.
When is that next meeting again?
April the 10th at 6 p.m.
Okay.
I think you can make that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on out.
I got something I want to talk to you after the show about that, too.
Oh, okay. Maplewood Senior Department is presenting a Lunch and Learn workshop entitled Demonstration of Tai Chi. So
I thought that was stuff you drink. Oh, that's chai tea.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you are crazy.
That's true.
Yeah. Tai Chi is a set of movements done at a slow pace, Richard, and designed to enhance
Oh, we're getting back to
posture.
golfing again?
You're a master.
Did I tell you my pings got stolen?
Your what?
Ping. Golf. I had like a
You had some
$3,000.
pings?
Yeah.
Get out of
I
here.
made a lot of money and I wanted to be a golfer.
Big shot.
Back in '95.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they were in a vehicle.
The
that got
bag and
stolen.
everything gone.
Everything.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, ping. Good ones.
Yeah, very good.
I thought
So
that
what do
was
you got
going to
now?
make me a golfer.
I got
I don't know. I got
Wilson's.
some hacked up set. I don't even know what it is.
I just got some Wilsons.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let's see. It enhances posture, balance, and overall well-being. Maybe we should do this before we go golf.
Free food?
I don't know. We'll find out. No, it isn't. It begins with deep breathing exercises followed by warm-up exercises, which focus on different parts of the body.
Block that person.
The date is Wednesday, April 1st. Time 12:15 to 1:15. The speaker is Brenda Stewart. It's located at Maplewood Center, 31735 Maplewood, in Garden City in the community room. Please note, lunch is not provided. Seniors can purchase a lunch for $2.25 or bring a sack lunch. Seniors who wish to eat a hot lunch must make a reservation 24 hours in advance by calling 734-793-1974. And the menu for April 1st will be honey mustard chicken breast, country corn, spinach, wheat bread, peaches, margarine, and milk.
I'm ordering it.
Just for the margarine.
It kills turkeys, you know.
Right? Yeah. Free-range turkeys. Oh, jeez. Everything's got to be free-range chickens, free-range turkeys. All right. For more information, you can contact Lisa Watts at 734-793-1856. Oh, you guys are crazy. All right. Don't forget, we'll be uploading the audio of tonight's show when it's made available on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GC Community Chat, usually about 30 minutes or so after the show ends, or as soon as I can get Richard out of here. And also check out our YouTube channel, where we will post tonight's show sometime tomorrow on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Community Chat Show. And please click on the red subscribe button so you don't miss any future shows. Well, I think we're ready to call this a podcast. I want to thank everyone that participated on tonight's show. A special thanks to Sarah Traxler from McKenna. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Carrie.
Appreciate you staying around, even listening to our crazy selves.
Really fun.
Yeah, we have a good time. You're lucky we don't have any of our beverages out here. All right, we appreciate you for coming, sharing so much information with us, too. And thanks to my co-hosts, Richard, Tom, and Mike. Great job, as always, you guys.
We know.
And to Joy and Holly from Wisconsin, thank you. And thanks to everyone who hung out in the chat room, Sneezy and all you guys. We really appreciate it. Now, remember, for the latest weather, you can go to doppertomsweather.com. Also, if you have a show idea or a guest you'd like us to try and get on the show, just send us an email right now at gccommunitychat@gmail.com, and we'll do our very best to provide that for you. And Sarah has already given me a guest that I am going to contact.
Fantastic.
And we'll get her on. So we hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Remember, the success of a community depends on the community, so please support your local businesses. And also, if you see something, say something. Look out for one another out there. And check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So on behalf of Richard, Tom, Mike, Joey, and Holly, thanks for listening. Take care, and see you next Thursday, 8 p.m. right here on TalkShoe.com. And good night.
Good night.
Good night.